making in the kitchen, the ganja we crush a bit. Take a hit and take a bite, y'all, cause we be loving it. Marijuana.
Where you going, Ed? If you lived here, you'd be home by now. Come join the clown, Ed. You'll float down here. We'll float down here. Yes, we do.
Welcome back to We Be Loving It, and it's been pointed out to me that I haven't been setting up the clip and explaining how it refers to what we're making in some roundabout way. So today's episode is dedicated to our one-woman crew behind the camera and a favorite summer flick of hers of 2019, the movie It. So we'll be making canna ice cream and creating root beer floats for us today. Let's get started. Alright, I'll be using 1 cup of heavy cream and 4 grams of my decarbed cannabis. You can see how to do this in our how-to video. Now you want to make sure you use good quality weed as best as you can get. This will affect how it smells and tastes once it's added into our ice cream. It is something that can't be described. It just has to be experienced, so always use the best quality you can get. Now let's go to our stovetop. Now we're going to do a double boiler on our stovetop, and we're going to simmer our cannabis and heavy cream for 30 minutes to slowly infuse the heavy cream. And we're just going to stir this so it doesn't develop a film over top. 30 minutes later. Now that our heavy cream is infused, we're going to strain out the plant matter and chill in the fridge for 30 minutes to an hour before we move on to our next step. Alright, she should have sped up the video here because this is a tedious process of just me pressing down on the plant matter and squeezing out every bit of the cannabis. So you may want to wear gloves at this part if you don't want to get too high from just absorbing it through your skin. Just pressing it out. We want to keep these videos kind of long to get your viewership. So now while our heavy cream is chilling, we're going to take 2 cups of sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, half a teaspoon of salt, and now we're going to place this on our stovetop over medium heat. This will heat up our sugar, salt, and cornstarch, allowing for an easier to dissolve mixture into our milks. Slowly shift around your sugar on the stovetop, making sure an even heat throughout every bit, making for a more cohesive blend of milk and sugar. Now pour in 7 cups of milk, 1 cup at a time, dissolving all your sugar into the mixture. Alright, you want to slowly mix in, keeping an even heat on the stove, making sure all of your sugar is dissolved. Just slowly stirring it all in. This is 7 cups of milk. I'm using whole milk myself. High fat content is good for when making edible products. We are going to whip together 5 eggs. So I am using a mixture of fresh eggs from our lovely chickens in the garden. You can thank Torchic and Pebbles for these eggs. And take out your blender and mix. You want a nice even mixture for when pouring them into our milk. Slowly pour in your eggs and mix them into your heated milk and sugar, blending it throughout. You don't want any chunks. we're going to add in our 1 3/4 of heavy cream, as well as our cup of cannabis infused heavy cream. Now raise the temperature on your stovetop. And we'll add in our 1 1/2 cups of half and half. And lastly, a tablespoon of vanilla paste. Extract will work as well. Now we'll cook everything on the stovetop, allowing ingredients to thicken or for about 15 minutes before turning into the fridge to chill for 4 hours. Now after your mixture has chilled in the fridge for 4 hours or overnight, we will be placing in an ice cream maker, each with its own unique instructions. I have borrowed mine here from a friend who has shown me an easy way to just do it in the ice cream maker itself. But the easiest way to do it that I know of is doing ice, rock salt, ice, rock salt, till everything is reached to the top. Now I'm just gonna take a bag of ice I bought from the convenience store and pour it in and layer it with my rock salt. This is pretty simple to do, no measurements really needed unless your ice cream maker said so. Just make sure it's spread out evenly till you get to the top, making sure not to cover the container itself or get any inside the container. Alright, now we're going to pour in our ice cream mixture that's been chilling in the fridge. Now you want to make sure you don't overflow your container because it will fluff up as it's churning and be ready to consume right out of the container. This is good up to 2 months in the freezer. And make sure to really take in the smell and taste of that vanilla and weed combo. It is something that can't be truly described. Let's place on the lid and churn out our mixture. Alright, now we're going to make our root beer floats using some old-fashioned root beer and some whipped cream topping. So now that we have our vanilla ice cream churned, we just put 2 scoops in the glass. No more, because you don't want to get too high. And it's a nice way to start out. And just pour your root beer floats on top. Be careful not to overflow. So you can follow us on Instagram and see how we used the remaining vanilla ice cream to make fun ice cream treats. And maybe you can create them yourselves. Here we are, 2 classic treats. For some reason we all float down here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Cause we be loving it. Marijuana.
What's that? Throw the knife at you, Danielle. If you're still stable, or better.
Can't see it because your hairy hand's in the way.